Alright, here's this image as opened. To me, I would boost the exposure just a hair. And I might open up the shadows a little bit. It brings in, when you open the shadows, you get a lot more detail down here in her dress. And I might reduce the highlights a little bit. Open up. Normally, one of the first things I do to an image is I decide where I want to crop it. I prefer a more square crop, but that's a taste thing. It's up to you. Normally, before I do any color correction or changes, I check for any blemishes that need to be fixed or repaired. She's got kind of a crease here. She's got a couple tiny little blemishes here. Normally, if you'll do your major blemishes before you do any type of skin smoothing or whatever, your secondary skin smoothing helps remove any traces of editing that are left, like by the patch tool. Alright, she has really good skin, so there's not a lot of work to do on that. As I indicated yesterday, I like to use this retouching panel I bought online. It was fairly inexpensive. It does this easy skin retouch, it's called. By the way, there's a lot of retouching panels out there that have a variety of kind of automatic frequency type separation. The effect that it puts on the image is all completely blacked off as a black mask. So you switch your brush to white. And of course you can use the bracket keys to change the size of your brush. You just paint the effect in. It smooths the skin. I try to stay away from the eyes. I try to stay away from this crease right on the nose, because if you blur that, you lose definition. I might swing right through the middle. Alright. So I have a tendency when I'm doing skin smoothing, I like to kind of overdo it a little bit. And then if you think it's too much, you can come to your opacity and fade it out to bring some of the skin texture back. Alright. Once I've got my skin corrected and smoothed, I like to check kind of my overall color balance. She looks just a tiny bit too red in the shadows, so I might put a hue and saturation adjustment layer on top. Go to the reds channel, pull a little bit of redness out. Once I've got my color corrected, I normally move on to sharpening. And if you will focus right on the eye, you can see the eyelash detail and things. And if you put your cursor up in this box and click down with your left mouse button, it'll turn it on and off just as a preview. So you can see the amount of sharpening you're getting. I like that. Tell it OK. So then there's the other way of sharpening. You duplicate your layer. Go Image, Adjustment, Gradient Map. That gives us a black and white layer. Sometimes I like to modify that and put a gray patch right in here. It's also a nice way to make a black and white image. But then I go Filter, Other, High Pass. And see how you can see the outlines? If you push this too far, you start seeing like haloing. See the halo around her hair? We don't want that. We just want it to kind of define the hard edges. We tell it OK. Change the overlay mode to soft light. And when you first do it, you'll think, well, that didn't do much. But if you kind of zoom in and toggle the eye off and on, you can really see where it boosts the contrast. And again, if it's a little too much for your taste, you can always fade that out. And then when I zoom in at 100%, her skin is still a little bit crackly. But we're going to make this web size. To do that, you go Image, Image Size, Facebook likes 2400 on the long edge. Tell it OK. So then I might actually run a second quick pass of the skin smoothing. So I bring up my panel again. I'm actually going to zoom in so I can see a little bit better. Again, you can use the bracket keys. Oh, I realize my flow is only at 35%. This is probably why I didn't get it as full as I wanted the last time. All right. So if this were my image, I might call it done. If you want to pop up the color of her dress, I'll just do a quick bonus, add a new blank layer. If you will pick, it's kind of the purple color of the dress, take a brush, and if you brush on some additional color, onto her dress, change that to soft light mode. You'll see it puts a lot more saturation in the blue. And these pearls are white, and I did in fact paint over them with purple. If you want to take the purple off the highlight or any purple off the buttons, you can bring up the blend if and pull this over a little bit. It'll take the purple off the white, because anything brighter than, let's say I come over to 175. Anything brighter than 175 in this layer, the top layer. Oh, actually I'm doing that wrong. It needs to be this layer. Blend if the underlying layer. So see how I can take it off? So if I wanted it out of the highlights, I can come over. There we go. Alright. And that's it. I'm done. Oh, if we want to downsize it, did I show you that already? Yeah, I've already downsized it. Sorry, I lost track of where I was. But at that point, if you want to play with making it a black and white, use a gradient map, something like that.